Welcome to All About St. Paul, where we feature videos about city services, programs, entertainment, and more.
He's Nick Nelson from the city's video production team.
And she's Liz Wagner, a marketing and communications guru from the city's great Parks and Recreation Department.
Coming up on this week's show,
we'll give you all the places to get wet and cool off in St. Paul.
We'll learn about some extreme makeovers happening in town.
New rules are on the way for skyways.
Learn how the city invests in art and culture.
And I'll show you an innovative tactic for battling out-of-control brush.
That's just ahead on All About St. Paul.
Well, if you couldn't tell, we are here at Lake Phalen, specifically Lake Phalen Beach, one of 4 places in the city where you can swim, splash, and have fun.
Phalen is the city's natural lake beach and is open daily from 1 to 7 p.m. New at Phalen this year is the splash pad that the little ones are sure to love. The city's other aquatic facilities include Highland Park Aquatic Center with its giant slide and splash zone, Como Regional Park Pool with its lazy river and thrilling zip line, and year-round inside at Great River Water Park, located inside Oxford Community Center.
So get out there and have fun. Great places to swim are just one reason to love our town. First up on our videos today, we hit the streets to find out what folks love about St. Paul.
So what do I love about St. Paul? We have free stuff to do. For grandkids, we have free parks, we have the great zoo. We love St. Paul.
I like St. Paul. I like the diversity. I mean, I feel like it's a good blend of different people.
And then it's actually starting to get more exciting, get more interesting down here with a lot of new restaurants and bars, and the State Stadium moving in here as well.
I love the fact that the farmers market here. I love the fact that they have the orchestra and the different, they got museums here.
It's actually a great place. It's a clean environment.
It's clean, it's friendly, it's easy to get to, and it's very accessible for families, so we like that best.
Yeah, we like the river. We go very often to walk nearby the river. That is good.
Parks, recreation, basically all the bike paths that we're able to go on.
I like about St. Paul how the people, they're nice and everything. They're willing to lend a helping hand to anybody, and that's what I love about St. Paul.
Well, I love St. Paul because it is beautiful, historic.
It's a great city, man. It's wonderful. The train is excellent. Gets you where you need to go on time whenever you need to get there.
But it seems very family friendly, which is awesome.
Cheapo Records. I really love Cheapo Records over on Snelling.
The walking. It's a small, big city. I love it.
The restaurants, oh my gosh, I get to go to a different restaurant every night, I feel like, and have something different, so I love that part of St. Paul.
I keep going on and on about St. Paul. It's wonderful, actually, man. It's a lovely city. I love living here, man.
Well, I love the Metro Lakes. There's a lot of them, especially the Phalen area, Keller area. It's all in the same area. And so it's always a good time.
Yeah, it's a perfect combination of a little bit of nature and then right in the city, and it's just gorgeous. I've lived here my whole life and I love it here.
What I love about St. Paul is the Como Park Conservatory. It's a great place to get fresh air in the winter.
One of our family's favorite things in St. Paul is the Minnesota Children's Museum. They just finished a massive reinvention of their entire facility. Let's take a look.
Well, this is a $30 million renovation that's taken us more than 6 years to complete. It's bigger. We have 11 galleries in total, where we used to have 7. It's better. We've added amenities. We have a cafe. We have more seating. We have bathrooms on every floor. And it's bolder. We put that open-ended play in the design of the exhibits to let kids direct their own play and direct their learning. Minnesota Children's Museum is all about the power of play, and through that, kids develop skills that they need for success throughout life. They develop critical thinking, they develop creative thinking. We couldn't have done it with all the support that people gave to the project from the City of St. Paul, the state of Minnesota, all the individuals, all the foundations. It was really the community coming together to make this happen.
Minnesota Children's Museum is one of the biggest draws here in St. Paul, not only for people who live in St. Paul, but from people across the state. It's an institution. It's something that people think of when they think of downtown St. Paul. It brings a lot of families down here, a lot of kids. But more than anything, you know, Minnesota and St. Paul is a learning community, and it's so important to the future of our community to make sure that these kids have these experiences and learn.
Well, we really look forward to welcoming families back into this space. If you've been here before, you will be amazed about how big of a change is in this space and all the new galleries. And if you've never been here before, come and discover the excitement of open-ended play for yourself, for your child, and engaging together in a really joyful experience as a family.
Also undergoing a renovation is the St. Paul Public Library's Rondo branch.
Rondo's now closed, but don't worry, they'll be back in October with a new look and a better layout.
Exciting changes are on the way for the Rondo branch of the St. Paul Public Library. The location, in a mixed development at the corner of Dale and University, closes in June for an extensive makeover. From the moment it opened in 2006, Rondo was wildly popular.
The Rondo Library is the busiest library in St. Paul, and by the time we reopen in early fall, it will be 11 years old. So with that kind of use, things get beat up and shabby after a while. So part of what we're doing with the $500,000 is some paint, some carpet, some new furniture.
Along with cosmetic changes, spaces within the building will be reconfigured to better serve its users.
Well, I think some of the things that users will be really excited about are that we will be splitting up the computer bank. Right now it's in one kind of giant group, and so we have adults trying to work on resumes and job applications or study, teens who are studying, or teens who are doing Facebook. But we want the computers to work a little bit better for each of those uses. So we're going to split those up. We will be lowering the shelves. We aren't losing any collection. It will just make it easier to see across the library and hopefully easier to find the great materials that we have here. And we will be adding some glass walls across the front of the library to add meeting space and then add the quiet study area. We are also flipping the children's area to be closer to the entrance and closer to the homework center. We're hoping that will cut down on some of the running back and forth that currently happens, and also make it easier for families so they don't have to go all the way to the back end of the library and then come all the way to the front of the library with their small children and their library books.
Improved spaces for teens are a big part of the remodel and were driven by the users themselves.
I like the Rondo Library just because I've been here since I was a little kid. This is my place. This is the place I come to every day. And since we have a program here every Tuesday, we decided to make a poster and put it up every Tuesday. And not only me, but everybody that comes here, all teens were able to put in their opinion about what they want changed here, what they want to be put here, you know. What I wanted to fix was how this room is just so small. The youth room, the teen room is so small. I wish that it was bigger. I wish that we had more equipment.
The goal is to have this new, better library open sometime in October. In the meantime, you can find a lot of Rondo's programming at other locations.
Obviously, there are other libraries in St. Paul that folks can visit, including we're sending people with holds to the Hamlin Library, which is very nearby. Our homework center will be open for the summer at the Rice Street Library. We are hosting 4 of our Summer Spark performances at the West Minnehaha Rec Center. We are holding open lab twice a week from 12 to 2 for adults at the MLK Rec Center. So we will also be hosting our Open Door Learning Center will be holding their regular English classes in the evenings at MLK Rec Center, and their citizenship classes on Wednesday afternoons at the Hallie Q. Brown Community Center. And I want to give a really big shout out to the Hallie Q. Brown Community Center and the MLK Rec Center for being really fantastic community partners and working with us so that we can preserve computer access and some Summer Spark programming with the kids who will be in the programs there. We also hope to be across the street at Life Track for job search programming on Tuesday and Thursday mornings.
For more information and updates on the project, just go to sppl.org/Rondo. Come this fall, library regulars like Amal hope you'll come check it out.
I just hope that a lot of people come because it's not just books, you know. We have PS4s here, we have Wii's here, we have fun, we have games. It's not all books, you know, and you get to meet a lot of different people and get new friends and stuff. So yeah, I just hope a lot more people come and we can have fun together, hopefully.
Well, as mentioned in the video, while Rondo is closed, library activities are happening at other branches and locations.
One of those activities is Summer Spark. Let's find out more.
It's summer, which means it's Summer Spark time at the St. Paul Public Library.
What is Summer Spark?
It's the library's summer learning program for kids and teens, available at all 13 library locations and the Bookmobile.
Summer Spark encourages kids to have fun, stay active, and keep learning all summer long. Join in the fun by attending more than 80 free programs at your library.
Earn great prizes by completing reading and activity challenges, like creating a picnic menu, helping someone out for no reason, or telling a librarian a joke. We're not joking! Submit your reading and activity logs before August 31st to enter to win the grand prize, a membership to the Science Museum or the newly renovated Children's Museum.
Pretty cool, right?
What will you learn this summer?
Learn more at sppl.org/summer or talk to your local librarian. It's summer, which means it's Summer Spark time at the St. Paul Public Library.
What is Summer Spark?
It's the library's summer learning program, including a special version of Summer Spark just for teens. This is your summer, which means Summer Spark is about your choice. Read and rate books of your choice and use our simple star rating system. And enter to win the grand prize. It's that easy.
Submit your book review before August 31st to enter to win the grand prize, a brand new Nintendo Switch and 3 games of your choice. Just for fun, stop by your local library and vote for your favorite books on our official summer reading list.
Find great book recommendations, learn more about prizes, and download book rating sheets at sppl.org/summer.
Well, once again, we are out here at Lake Phalen Beach. One of the non-swimming activities that happens here is the free summer meals program. Liz is going to find out more.
I'm here with Greg from Parks and Recreation. Tell us about summer meals.
Yep, so for summer meals, we have kids for 18 and under. We have meals from 1 to 2 o'clock and from 5 to 6:30. We do this at many locations across the Twin Cities, and this is our location here at Phalen Beach.
You can find a full list of locations and times at stpaul.gov/summermeals.
Well, the St. Paul Skyway system is one of our city's great amenities, not just in winter, but for the AC on days like today. There are changes happening to make the Skyways work better for everyone. Let's learn more.
Our Skyways are a critical part of the vibrancy of downtown St. Paul, and that's important for everybody who's down here. Anybody who works here, goes to school here. We have a number of schools that are Skyway connected. People who live downtown. We have almost 9,000 people living downtown now, so it's really a critical connection between all parts of downtown. So the Skyway Vitality Work Group, which I co-chair with Deputy Mayor Kristen Beckman, is a place where all of those parties responsible for any portion of the Skyways and stakeholders come together. So the building owners, all the 6 different city departments that interact with the Skyways in some form, representatives from people who are experiencing homelessness, the youth community, and employers all come to the same table and figure out how to improve the climate in the Skyways.
You know, we've got 2 ordinance changes coming up. One is around behaviors allowed in the Skyway, kind of a code of conduct, and that will help make it very clear to people what they can and can't do in the Skyway, and work with our police officers and our private security officers in the buildings.
And then also we're updating and clarifying what we expect of our building owners. Again, this public-private partnership, what are the standards of security that we expect? And we did a really thorough job of talking to our building owners to understand how they're providing security in their buildings and what standard they think is reasonable to ask of their peers.
So if people have further input about what they'd like to see done in the Skyways, when they'd like to see them closed, how safe they think they are, how they could be kept more clean or more vibrant, we'd love that feedback. You can email the mayor's office, you can talk to your city council member, and we'll be having a public hearing coming up on September 6th, and then a vote at the city council on September 13th. And so if people have opinions about how long the Skyway should stay open or when they should close, they really should come down to City Council and engage in that conversation.
There is absolutely opportunity for public input, and that's really what I'm hoping to do over the next few weeks, is to hear from my constituents, to hear from people who use downtown for any purpose, people who live, work, play, and visit downtown. What do you think about these proposals, and what do you think the Skyway system should be?
People use the Skyways to travel a downtown that's increasingly filled with entertainment and activity.
One of the reasons for that is the city's Cultural Star program, which supports the arts through funding.
The goals of the Cultural Star program are to build and diversify audiences that come to cultural and arts events in St. Paul. We're both reflecting the communities that live here and just reflecting the cutting edge of arts and culture in general.
And what we focus those investments on, those grants, is how can we support artists and creative people to drive vitality, to drive street life in the city of St. Paul, and again, predominantly in downtown St. Paul.
So Little Africa is the business and cultural corridor or district within Hamlin Midway. We see art and economic development as totally interconnected, like they feed into each other. And so for institutions like the city and other funders to recognize this very natural connection is incredible.
For 49 years now, Vocal Essence has been an organization that leads in the arts, primarily through choral music. And Cultural Star is just a phenomenal program because it's even bringing more programming in the arts to the area, and it's making the programming accessible. And I think that's the key going forward in the future, that Cultural Star is allowing us to bring diverse audiences to the cultural district that might not be there otherwise.
If you're a musician, or you're an actor, or a composer, your whole goal is to bring people out to see your work. And when folks go out to see your concert or to see your play, they're also going to come out and they're going to get coffees on the sidewalk cafes, they're going to have dinner, they're going to have drinks, and they're going to bring our town to life.
There's an intangible return that comes from arts, and it comes in the energy, it comes in these little mini magical moments that happen when you are supportive of the arts.
I think a successful application for the Cultural Star program are programs that really draw audiences to St. Paul. We know there's amazing cultural offerings and art organizations all across St. Paul that are doing great programming and great events, and we'd like for all of them to apply for the Cultural Star program.
Well, back in May, I reported on a buckthorn battling goat brigade that was put to work eating invasive plants at Indian Mounds Park.
The goats have moved to Crosby Farm Regional Park to continue their work. Let's take another look at this fun story.
St. Paul has a secret weapon in the fight against invasive plant species.
Okay, it's not a secret anymore. It's goats.
Non-native plants like buckthorn are threatening to take over sections of St. Paul parkland and change its natural character.
Well, it turns out goats love the stuff.
This small herd will roam St. Paul river bluffs, chomping nasty weeds along the way.
Emily Dunlap is with St. Paul Parks and Recreation's Natural Resources team. Emily, why goats?
Well, goats are a great way to remove invasive species such as buckthorn and garlic mustard. They like to eat invasive species, particularly woody species like buckthorn. They also do really well on the bluffy terrain that we have in this park, so they're the ideal animals to use to graze here.
What makes a plant invasive, and what have you got against buckthorn? Isn't it just another bush?
Well, an invasive plant is a plant that isn't native to Minnesota. So, for example, buckthorn is from Europe originally, and it was brought over and kind of escaped into our parks and into our woodlands, and it crowds out our native plants. So getting rid of it is one of the goals in our parks.
This tribe of goats will be deployed to various natural areas, mostly along the river. Don't worry, they'll be fenced in and won't end up munching your flower bed. So just where does the city get its hands on a group of goats, expert in buckthorn removal? From this guy, Jake Langslag, along with his wife Amanda, operate Goat Dispatch. So Jake, how does a guy get into the goat loaning biz?
So honestly, I never thought in a million years I'd be a goat wrangler. Never thought when I was a kid I want to be a goat wrangler one day. We weren't able to use our woods. It was so overchoked with buckthorn. So we brought some goats over, kind of tested it out, and I was just really blown away on how well they were cleaning the woods. And then from then, I had neighbors driving by that were saying, hey, why don't you come over to our property and we'll pay you to have goats graze our yard. And then the next thing we know, we're all over the state and full-time goat wranglers.
Well, that's awesome. You know, people have been using the word goat to stand for greatest of all time. What do you love about goats?
Yeah, I guess, goats are popular. I'll be honest with you right now. Everyone loves goats, and what I really like about them is just going out and watching how happy the animals are when they're working on their jobs. So it's just a real win-win for, I believe, the animals. They have a great quality of life.
Well, we've heard from the humans behind this environmental effort, but what about the real stars of the show?
I'm here with Ruby, one of the pros on the Goat Dispatch team. She's no kid, she's been doing this for a while. So, Ruby, I've got to ask you, what's your favorite invasive plant species? Buckthorn or garlic mustard? Have you ever tried goat yoga? Not your thing, huh? Last question. Somebody told me that St. Paul is your favorite city to work in so far. I'll take silence for a yes.
Well, there you have it, folks. An innovative way to control invasive species, brought to you by St. Paul Parks and Recreation and the crew at Goat Dispatch.
Well, that goat didn't have too much to say, Nick.
It was one of my tougher interviews. Well, that's it for the show this time. We hope you liked the new look. As usual, you can catch all of our videos on the city's YouTube site at youtube.com/stpaulgov.
We'll see you next time.